After the break, expert advice that will take your party planning skills to the next level. Don't miss it. As exciting as it can be, planning a party is often an overwhelming task. There's a lot that goes into making sure everything runs smoothly. Here to share expert advice on how to plan the perfect event is Jeffrey Booth, founder of Red Devil Events. Jeffrey, I want to thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And can you talk about briefly your journey into the whole party planning world, how this came about?
Yeah, so I've lived in Charleston since 2009, and I got a large group of friends after a few years, and I started doing like events just with friends, and in 2017 it ended up being, I was like, well, I could probably turn this into a business. So I've been doing it professionally since 2017, and I'm now doing events in Charleston and Tampa as well.
Well, hats off to you, because planning a party, there's a lot of moving parts, right?
For sure.
So when you approach, party planning and event planning, what is the first thing you should tackle?
The first big question is the when. Is your event going to be summer or winter, day or night, weekend or weekday? I mean, that's going to have a big impact on your cost and what you want to do. I mean, you don't want to have like a fancy event in July in Charleston. It's 110 degrees outside. So
date and
weather,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, so date and time. And then when talking about, budget, right?
Yeah.
When does that come into play? Like, I feel like that should be also one of the earlier steps.
So the budget, I mean, that's one of the first things you want to consider, and that's your major factor in that is going to be the size of the event you want to plan. So if it's going to be a smaller family gathering, 20, 30 people, you could probably just handle all that on your own. If you're looking at over 50 people and up, you might want to consider hiring a professional caterer or bar service. I typically deal with very large events, 1,000+ people, so there's a lot of moving parts in that.
Yeah.
So it's a little different, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. So in addition to those, the good things to really start with, what are some other general tips?
General tips would be plan early, create a timeline of when you want to get certain things done. You set your ideal size of your event, which will also correlate with your budget. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the more people you invite and get to come, the more expensive it'll be. If you're renting a venue, try to see if there's any venue restrictions early. If you're having a menu, if you're providing food and drinks, don't be afraid to hire a professional if you don't think you can handle it. And for entertainment, always get multiple quotes. Never just go with the first quote.
And thankfully, we live in a city where we have, entertainment options
are tons
unlimited.
Of options.
Absolutely,
yeah.
and venues as well. And now you guys have an event coming up. The date is TBD, but it's Pickle Palooza. Hopefully, end of summer, beginning of fall.
Yeah, so I'm looking at late summer, early fall. I'm hoping to announce the exact venue and date within a week. But the goal is a giant pickle-themed festival.
That sounds like fun.
Yes, it's going to be very unique. Pickle vendors, pickle drinks, pickle-themed activities. So.
Pickle Palooza.
Yeah.
And for more information on this and also just Red Devil Events in general, reddevilevents.com is where you can go. Jeffrey, I want to thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
We're back in 2 minutes.